We have an eyewitness to the crash this morning on the Linstead bypass. She told me what she saw. Interview with an eyewitness to the accident this morning, that fatal accident which led to the death of a policeman and Kevin Smith. Good afternoon, Shante.
Hi, good afternoon, Chris.
Tell me, what did you see? Where were you?
Well, I was on my way to Linstead on the bike in the left lane. There was a white pickup in front of me, but I saw and heard siren of a marked police vehicle coming towards me, which would have been in the direction of Spanish Town. I pulled over to the left as protocol when I heard the siren, and then I saw that there was also a bus coming behind the marked police vehicle. It hit a small road vehicle. I'm not sure if it was a big car than me, but I know it was a small vehicle. When it hit that vehicle, I saw it spinning in the middle of the road. So I stopped. The vehicle in front of me stopped as well. And the the police vehicle escorting Kevin Smith continued spinning, and it spun and from the right to the left and hit the white vehicle and then over into the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
When I came out of the vehicle, I looked behind me to see if the police vehicle that was ahead was continuing, but no, it had stopped and it was turning around. So I really was afraid to look in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see from the distance where I was standing. I didn't see anyone in the vehicle, so I thought they came up because the doors on the link towards the bushes were open, so I thought they may have climbed out or something.
Yes.
When the police vehicle that was ahead finally came back on the spot, a female came out and her expression, it had me worried. She's like, oh my God, and she didn't go any closer, so I was afraid of what I would have seen.
Yes.
I eventually looked down and I saw the two police officers at the front. They were slumped over, and I saw blood coming from their nose. So I didn't notice the two persons at the back of the vehicle.
Yes.
So I thought I saw the vest, and I was like, oh, it's police. So, they came and they took the weapons from them. I then called and asked for assistance. I was like, could you call the fire brigade, call some police, ambulance, whichever. The fire brigade came in no time, and they took the two at the front regained consciousness.
Those are the two policemen.
And then I looked at the back. And then I noticed that I didn't know that there were two persons at the back, and I looked and I saw that there was a mark on something. So it was the two policemen and Kevin Smith. Their heads were bumped together. I don't know if that's what caused it. When they took the policeman out, he had just some bruises. There was no heavy blood. There was no blood on.
Mm-hmm.
However, backtracking to that, they took an hour before he could be out the vehicle because they had to cut him out. He was cut out. There was no blood. Definitely seemed lifeless to me.
Yes.
Kevin Smith, he wasn't moving whatsoever.
He was or wasn't?
He was not moving.
He wasn't.
He was moving whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
He seemed unconscious.
Yes.
But he definitely looked dead to me.
Yes. Well, you said they took an hour to get Kevin Smith out of the back of the vehicle?
So the two policemen, the other one, he was probably removed like half an hour afterwards because they had to be cut out. I don't know if it's because of the size or the impact on the side of the vehicle that Kevin Smith was on. He wasn't pulled from the vehicle until about 20-25 minutes after 10.
Mm-hmm. And the accident would have occurred what time?
About 9:30, between 9:30 and 9:35.
Uh-huh, yes. And it was
perhaps earlier than that, because I remember calling the inspector at 9:28.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it was a struggle getting Smith out of the back of the vehicle?
It was. They had to use a electric chainsaw to cut him out.
Oh. And they would have cut away the metal around him?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He was in handcuffs as well.
Oh, he was in handcuffs.
Yes, he was. He was.
Uh-huh. And
No, when it happened, all four occupants of the vehicle of the vehicle was unconscious.
uh-huh. Oh,
So the two at the front, they revived them and took them out.
mm, yes.
The police at the back, no.
Hmm. What about passers-by, people around? Did they come to help?
Honestly, before persons came on the scene, I didn't know. At this point, I definitely knew that there were two persons at the back of the vehicle.
Yes.
Two gentlemen came and said, "Oh no, the pastor man, I'm not helping."
Oh.
And I'm like, "No, it's not. That's not him." Because from the angle,
Yes.
I didn't know it was him. I was like, "No, that's not him."
So two men came on the scene
that
and recognized
it was him, and said that, and then they kept telling other people that it's a pastor. So that's what I think. That's why most persons came, because it was a pastor. And I kept saying, but there's a policeman injured as well.
Yes.
But I think everybody's concern was it being the pastor.
So it was a matter that they just didn't want to help him.
They did not want to help him. For him, they didn't want to help.
Oh. But the responders who came did not take that approach. They assisted.
No.
Oh
no.
dear.
They were on point. I definitely have to applaud them.
Yes. Yeah.
But I remember when I called the inspector the second time, while I was on the phone with him, I saw the brigade coming with the ambulance.
Mm-hmm. You said
so that really wasn't the case.
Right. You said the car went into a ditch?
It didn't. It went into bushes.
Bushes. Mm-hmm.
So it didn't go anywhere deep. It was still on the level of the road, but it would have been in the bushes.
Mm-hmm. So the car started to spin because of the impact.
It hit the vehicle in front, yes.
Yeah.
I would assume it was the impact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was on the right, and it spun all the way over to the left.
Oh, okay. And all of this would have happened in seconds, Shante?
In seconds, literally.
Yes.
Because the vehicle that was in front was not far away.
Mm-hmm. And when you realized it was Kevin Smith, what was your reaction?
Man, I didn't really care, but I was saddened that the policeman died. When I saw him, I started crying, and then I heard it was Kevin Smith as well. And at that point, I was like, "Wow, this seems very superstitious." It literally seemed that way.
Why?
Why? Because of everything that happened last week. When I heard everything that happened last week, but this is unnatural. This is some strong powers working. And I'm like, why didn't the first vehicle meet in an accident? And at first I'm saying maybe the driver at the front did not pull over enough to give way to the vehicle. But the pace at which the first vehicle and the second vehicle were going, if you pulled over to allow the first vehicle to pass, you would still be on the soft shoulder to allow the second vehicle. So what would have caused the impact? I don't know how they could have been controlled, but I was very scared about it. My neighbor called me and my neighbor got in spirit. She's like, "You need to go home, you need to go wash off in salt water, you need to rub up with some lime. Church is not going to help this, or the money is not going to help this." Like, he unleashed some legion on everybody at that scene. So you need to be very careful. And that even scared me further. Just hearing that, like, she was literally in spirit on the phone.
Yeah. But you said when you realized it was Kevin, you didn't really care much, but for the policeman, you shed a tear.
No, I didn't care much. I don't want to be cold, but I mean, with all that happened, with all that took place, no.
Yes.
I wasn't hurt about that. And it may seem strange. I know he wasn't driving, but I can't help to think that his presence contributed to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay.
Well.
I don't know. No, I actually want to go home. So
Yes.
I don't know how I'm feeling. I feel like I was crying on the scene and my chest feels tight. But now I'm feeling scared because everything, it seems very strange that today he was going to be charged and now this.
9 days after.
I didn't even know it was 9 days after.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Person started telling me that.
Do you know how many vehicles were the police traveling in?
It was 2 vehicles.
2 vehicles.
It was 2 vehicles. The person that got hit, I've seen him before. His father came on. I actually know his father. His father is a former colleague of mine. And I had to tell him, you need to bring your son to the hospital because he was shaking. He doesn't even remember what happened.
Yes.
The driver that got hit, he doesn't. Even an hour later, he was still shaking. I said, you need to go. You're not okay.
Yes. Okay. Shante, really appreciate it. Shante Brown, an eyewitness to what transpired on Linstead Bypass near Church Road, sometime after 9
this morning.
What we learned from her.
Yes.
Smith was handcuffed.
He was.
Yes.
No question about it.
Because I hear people speculating, I hear it is virtually going viral from some alleged member of the force saying that it was gross negligence, incompetence, that he was not handcuffed, and that he was free to tackle the driver.
Unreasonable assertions will be made in that voice note.
That eyewitness who saw him at the moment.
And there is a video making the rounds on Twitter as well with the members of the fire brigade actually removing the handcuff and handing it to their colleagues. So
it was not a convoy of 9 vehicles. Yes. But really 2 vehicles with 9 people.
Right. And as to how the vehicle got tanked with another, it appears the vehicle in which Smith was traveling hit a vehicle in front and spun out of control.
Yes.
And that's how it hit the vehicle that was coming in the opposite direction.
Right. We're going to take a break.